Yeah, bullies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're all bullies.
Thank you, Jay.
Bullists.
All right, guys, let's focus up now. Today we're going to do a little bit of review before we get into tomorrow, which will be our test. Most of today is going to be a work day. You guys should get out of here in about 20 minutes. If you participate, maybe even faster. But first things first, we're going to review discounts. You guys already know everything about discounts. Grayson, please stop drawing on the thing. Don't do that again, please. Thank you. At this point, you should all be very familiar with how discounts work. As we already know, if we have a 30% discount on an item, we find 30% of the initial cost and then subtract the discount from the original cost to find the discounted cost. It's a lot of fancy words. Really what a discount is, we find the percentage and then we subtract it from the initial amount, right? Grayson, do you have a question? Or are you just messing around right now?
I was trying to zoom my screen out.
Oh, okay. I did not know that NASA made baby food. That's weird. Not particularly relevant to math. So, for example, how much would you pay for a $20 shirt that is 30% off? This is an actual question that I actually want you to try to answer.
I would pay what I pay and they would just be okay. I would pay whatever I want to pay.
No, you wouldn't.
I mean, I might not get it, but I would still pay.
Okay. 30% off a $20 shirt. Stop putting it in all chat because you're
Enrique.
That's
Enrique.
wrong anyway. That's wrong anyway.
You should 24.
Okay. A whole bunch of you are getting there. All right, a lot of people putting this in everyone chat, but I guess that's fine. So it is going to be $14. Last class, a lot of people said $6, so it's good to see that most people are on the right track here. All we have to do is take 20.
Is.
Yeah, exactly. So we just take 20, we multiply it by 30% as a decimal, which is 0.3, which gives us 6. This, like Brooklyn just said, is our discount. That was Brooklyn, right? So we're going to subtract it from the initial cost to get $14, which would be our answer here. So not too bad. This one should be pretty simple. This is what we did in the group shopping spree. We did a whole lot of this, so you guys should be pretty familiar with it. The next one we haven't done as much. We haven't talked about very much in class, but sales tax. So in Oregon, obviously, we don't have to deal with sales tax. We have higher income tax instead, which, but in most other states, some percentage is added onto the total of any sales purchases as a tax. Washington has a tax rate of 6.5%. So how much would you pay for something that costs $40 in Washington? This is once again an actual question. I want you to try to solve.
What thing is this?
What do you mean?
What assignment is this?
This is not an
It's
assignment
not.
right now. It's me asking you a question. Hannah, you had the right percentage, but remember, sales tax gets added on, not subtracted. Same thing, Jackson. Terry, you're missing some decimals.
Right?
Jenica, your number is really slightly off. It's very close, but Cade, you somehow got an extra little bit in there. Hannah, that's correct. Jackson, that's correct. Technically, you need a 0. Terry, you're still too big. You got to divide that by 100, and then that's your sales tax.
Hey, that's rude, Cleary.
What? I'm saying that the number is too big. She needs to divide by 200 or by 100. Jay, stop unmuting your mic unless you're actually saying something.
Yeah, Jay.
Jenica, that's almost correct. Your sales tax is slightly off again. I'm not sure why. Colby, that's correct. Jackson, I mean, I guess you don't need that many zeros though. There you go, Terry. So that's the amount of sales tax you need to add that on. Enrique, you subtracted instead of added. Brogan, that's correct. Okay. Most of you are on the right track. Travis, I think you forgot the 0.5. Anyway.
Can I say it out loud now?
Sure.
Something over 40.
It's 42.6.
Yeah. So if
I was
we
gonna write in
first,
private chat. You say
we
it.
need to start off $40 and we need to figure out the sales tax. So we're going to multiply that by 6.5 as a decimal. Remember that 6.5 as a decimal, we have to divide this by 100. So it's not 0.65, it's 0.065. And when we solve this out, we're going to get $2.60. I'm adding in the 0 because, again, this is in money. So we usually have 2 decimal places. But this is the amount of sales tax. We still need to add in the initial cost. So we have $40 plus $2.60, which will give us $42.60. So that's how we get to our answer there. Any questions on that before we move on to something that is a little bit new?
Yes, everyone has questions.
Okay, cool. What's yours, Hollis?
I don't want to tell my question.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
My is, can we move on?
Yep, we are. All right, discounts and sales tax. So states like Washington and other states that have sales tax still have discounts on things. They still have like sales and, yada, yada, yada. So what happens when you have both a discount and a sales tax? If you calculate the sales tax first and then calculate the discount, you're going to get a different amount than if you calculate the discount first and then do the sales tax. So we're going to look at the following. Generally, since discounts can vary by item, discounts are always applied first. So if you go into a store, usually you're not going to see 20% off everything. It's going to be like, we have a buy one, get one free over here and a 20% off over there and a 30% off there or whatever, right?
Yeah, because don't you add the sales thingy onto the final price of the item?
You do, yes. So sales tax is almost always calculated last. So let's look at an example. Let's say you want to buy a life-size Batman statue. It initially costs $400, but a store in Washington has it on sale for 25% off. Let me read the problem, guys, Hollis, and then you can ask your question. Washington has a sales tax rate of 6.5%. So how much will you pay for the statue? See if you can figure this one out. Go ahead, Hollis.
I get, Batman's cool and all, but who wants a life-size statue of Batman just, staring at them?
Absolutely nobody. You're the guy with a Han Solo and Chewbacca cutout standing right behind them. And if you're scared of the Batman,
$0.
Right. No, if I woke up in the middle of the night and was walking through my house and saw that in my living room or something, I would hit it with a baseball bat.
Exactly.
That'd be terrifying.
At one point, I had my Han Solo
Travis and
Chewbacca
Cade, you are
thing
correct, by the way.
in front of my window, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I almost peed myself because I saw the Han Solo and Chewbacca in front of the window and I thought there was someone standing out there.
Hannah, I know what you did, so I know that your math is correct, but your steps are a little bit off. Jackson, you calculated your percentage based on the discount. Remember, you have to subtract the discount and then you have a new price that you have to calculate it on. Colby, that's correct.
Can I say it out loud now?
No, Jay. You can type it in private chat. Enrique, I don't know if I saw yours.
I don't want to.
Enrique, no, that is, I don't know where you got that one. Hannah, you're still close, but it's not quite there. What?
I
Said a
typed
thing?
my answer to you in private chat and you didn't see it.
No, not quite, Terry. I don't know how you or which step you messed up though. It's really hard to tell.
And for me.
What? Jay, you gotta learn how to use the chat, man.
I did.
Okay.
Just kick them off
no,
the meeting.
Jay, that's too big. Brooklyn, that's correct. But everybody else were a little bit off. Okay. So let's go ahead and calculate our discount first, right? Because that's how we want to start. So first we need
No,
to do
just do it
25%.
again. I almost have
400.
it. Never
You
mind then.
keep working on it. So we're going to take $400 times 0.25, which is just 25% as a decimal.
This is
Uh,
Zaya. Patty needs somebody to assist her in room number 402. I'm on
So
my way.
we multiply these out. We're going to get 100. This is the discount. So this is coming off of our $400. So we're going to subtract it from 400, and that's going to give us $300. So this is the effective cost before tax, right? So we've taken off our discount. We haven't applied our tax yet. So now we need to multiply this by our tax rate, which is 0.065. This is going to give us 19.5. This is the amount of tax we're going to pay. This is the amount we're paying for the item. So we have to add those together to get our total. So we have $319.50. Now, a lot of people calculated them out like this. So they did the discount and then they did 400 times 0.065, which gave them 24, I think, 26, should have been 26. And then some people were adding it to the 300. Some people were subtracting it from the 300. Some people were subtracting it from the 400. Some people were adding it to 100 or subtracting it from 100.
I got 406.5 from my first answer.
Yeah, I don't know where your mess up was, but that's all right. But either way, this would be calculating the sales tax based on the original price. The sales tax is calculated based on the final sale. So it's based on this 300.
My mistake was that I thought this was like the one on the assignment, so I thought it was 20% off.
Oh, yeah, no, it was 25%. Okay. So I'm gonna give you one more to try this on. This one's a little bit more complicated. If you can answer this question, you will be able to do perfectly fine. You'll have no problem with the test at all tomorrow, because honestly, the test is a lot easier than this. But this is a really interesting actual real life question, so I think it's one worth looking at. In this scenario, you are going to go buy a car because you're 16 or something and you decide you want to. But you're comparing two prices to see which will cost less. A dealership in Washington has the car you want for $10,000 with a 12% discount, but they have a 6.5% sales tax. A dealership in Oregon has the same car for $9,800, but only at a 4% discount. Which car is cheaper? So you need to calculate the final total price of the car in Washington and the total price of the car in Oregon, and then you need to see which one is smaller than the other. This will take a couple minutes, so try this out. Also, let me check and see if anybody showed up for.
Wait, so once we have the discount, do we minus it by the taxes, or?
So once you have the discount, you're going to subtract that from the original total. Then you calculate the sales tax. This is painfully bright in here. I can't see anything. And now you can't see me. There we go. You can kind of see me now.
Okay, so once I have the sales tax, is that it, or do I add it to the original total or not?
You add that to the discounted total.
Okay.
Okay, see. Multiple. Let's see. Cade, I believe that is correct. Dylan and Travis, what did you get for the different cars? Brogan, that is also correct. Cade, I think your Washington number is off, but it's like by 2, so you're pretty much there. Hannah, that's correct. What are your numbers? So Hannah, your calculation for you found the discount and then took the sales on the discount. You need to subtract it from the initial and then calculate the sales. Okay. It's gonna be, I'll go over it in a second. Brooklyn, that is correct. Terry, those are off. I don't know. I'm not sure where your numbers did you multiply? I think I might know what you did, but it's hard to explain. That's correct, Colby. Who left?
It's not me this time.
Cool. I appreciate you sticking around.
I don't want to though.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I don't understand this.
Brooklyn, that's correct as well. I'll go over it in a second, Terry. Don't worry. Jenica, did you put one in?
I am very proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too, Brooklyn. That was really good. I appreciate that you're participating. Oh. Jay, what are your numbers? Jenica, what are your numbers? Marvin, that's not particularly helpful. So how much did each car cost?
Wait.
Or are you just guessing?
Is there still a 12% discount on the other car in Oregon?
No, so the Oregon car is only discounted at 4%.
Oh, but there's no sales tax. Okay, never mind.
Right. So these answers should be very close. Jay, also not particularly helpful. Jenica, that's correct for the Oregon one. What did you get for your Washington one?
Mr. Cleary?
Yeah.
Could you subtract 6.5 from 12?
Nope.
And then you couldn't?
No. That is very tempting, but no. The reason you can't is because you're taking 6.5% of the discounted price, not of the initial price. So that's going to give you a different number. Terry, those are both correct. Jay, no. Okay, so we're gonna go over two things really quick. And I am in no way trying to like make fun of anybody or anything like that. But on problems like these, one thing that can be really helpful is think about your answer and whether it makes sense for a second. Jenica, your Oregon one was correct. Your Washington was off. So if you got something like, you know, it cost, let's say you got that the Washington one costs $22,000, right? That doesn't make any sense. How would it go up by over double, right? This probably means that you did something wrong. If you get that one of the cars cost $370, this also doesn't make any sense, right? First of all, nobody's going to sell a car for that cheap. And second, these numbers are way bigger than that. So your numbers should have been within a reasonable range, right? And a lot of times in math, we'll run into solutions. And when you get something like this, you can tell you made a mistake somewhere. Again, that's not me trying to make fun of anybody or to say that, you know, you guys, I'm just saying that if you see something like that, check and see if you made a mistake.
I figured out where I made my mistake.
Right. So I'll go over some common ones here. But for the Washington car, the first thing we need to do is calculate our discount. So we do 10,000 times 12 as a percentage or as a decimal. What's 12 as a decimal? 12%.
0.12.
0.12.
0.12, which will give us $1,200. This is the discount. This is the amount we take off. So we subtract 1,200 from here, and we get $8,800. This is the effective cost of the car, but then we have sales tax. So now we have to multiply this by 0.065, and that's going to give us, I don't remember, hold on, I have a calculator right here, times 0.065. This is going to give us $572. Now, since this is sales tax, this is being added on, so we need to add this over here. And when we do that, we'll get, I could do this in my head, but I decided not to. $9,372 would be our total. So this is how much the Washington car costs. And I realize it's at the bottom of the screen, so I'll put it up here. Washington, $9,372. Common mistake would be to take the sales tax from here, right? Where you'd get what? You'd get like 1,278 at the end if you did this. But again, that number is super, super low. We started at $10,000. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? We shouldn't get something that's that low. Another mistake would be if you did subtract 6.5 from this, you would have 10,000 times 0.055. So this is an idea that a lot of students try. And it's actually a smart idea, but it doesn't end up working out the same. The reason for this is that here you would get $550. If you subtract $550 from there, 10,000 from 550, you're going to get left with $9,450. And you'll notice that our price is actually here. Now, the reason I chose these numbers specifically is because if you make this mistake, or if you try this way, you're going to actually get that the wrong car is cheaper. So for the Oregon car, we have our 9,800 times 0.04. I have the cameras in the way. Sorry, my handwriting is getting so small. Make it bigger. 0.04, which gives us $392, which I saw a lot of people were giving me this as the answer. That is not the answer. Remember, that's your discount. So we subtract it from the initial. And that is going to give us $9,408. So the Oregon car, $9,408. Now, obviously, once we have these two together, we have the Washington at this price, the Oregon at this price. We know that the Washington is cheaper. If you had done it this way, so you just calculated a total percentage, you would have gotten 9,450. So you would have thought the Washington car is cheaper or is more expensive. So yeah, that's a lot of complicated math. But just remember that the order is discount and then sales tax. If you're doing restaurant things, it'll be discount and then tip is last, but that's all right. If you're still confused about all this, feel free to stick around. You can get some extra help. I can go over some extra problems or come up with other ones. If you haven't finished your homework from yesterday, which was the tipping project, the day before, which was IXL, M6, or MathSpace, I think it was percentages in tipping. If you haven't finished those, then you definitely want to get those done because the assessment is tomorrow. Otherwise, you guys are free to go. Have a good rest of your day. If you want to stick around and ask questions, you can do that.